Hi, my name's Steve Walker from Promise Money, and today I want to talk about mortgages, commercial mortgages generally, to buy dental healthcare practices. So that could be pharmacy, it could be dentists, it could be doctors, it could even be physiotherapy, etc, etc. Now, generally speaking, when you're buying a practice like this, there's going to be an element of goodwill because you're buying the business, and there's going to be an element of the property because very often you're going to be buying the property that it's trading from as well. And the good news is that a lot of the lenders consider this to be the holy grail. So a typical business owner, somebody like me, I'm running a business like this, a commercial mortgage brokerage. If I wanted to buy the property that I'm trading from, I might be able to borrow up to 75% of the value of the building. And if I wanted to buy the business, no chance at all. But depending on the type of business you are within your sector, lenders are prepared to potentially lend 100% of the value of the building, and they'll even lend you the money to buy the business as well. So if you're buying a business property for £1 million and you're paying £250,000 for the business, potentially you can borrow £1.25 million, and security offered is, okay, it could be a debenture over the business, etc. But the bricks and mortar security is only worth £1 million. So you've got £1.25 million out of the deal. The most I'd be able to get was £750,000. I should have been a dentist, or I should have been a doctor. There we are. That was my mistake. So where's the variations? Well, generally it varies very much by lenders and their level of appetite. But it also varies by the sector that you're in. And it's fair to say dentists, doctors, they fare really, really well. And pharmacies, strangely enough, some lenders say, oh yeah, we're really keen on pharmacies. And others say, actually, no, we're backing away from pharmacies. So not quite as popular. And then you've got your care homes and all the rest of that area as well. The key thing is, I suppose, if you're in this sector and you're looking to buy a practice, is one, the accounts, to make sure that they're really, really strong with the business that you're buying for, that you're buying. And if you've got additional security, that's going to help as well. And try and save a deposit, because to open up the widest number of lenders, if you're putting cash in, that's great. Some lenders like to see some cash going in. I had one recently. It was a lovely, lovely business, nice lady, and she didn't have any cash to put in. But what she was prepared to do was to allow the lender to take a second charge on her property, which got her to where she wanted to be from an LTV point of view. I had another lender who was really, really interested, but they said, no, we want to see cash going into the business. And what they wanted to do was for her to take out a separate secured loan, personal loan secured on her home, and inject that into the business. Well, that's two sets of costs. The rates weren't as good. So we went with the lender that said, no, we'll take a second charge. We'll do it at the same rates as the commercial mortgage. We'll just take a second charge on a property. So if you've got additional security, that's good. If you've got a decent deposit, that's good. It just makes you more attractive. But it's not the end of the world. I would say doctors and dentists, like I said, you can get towards 100%. And pharmacies maybe, but probably work on a little bit lower. And maybe it could be 100% of the bricks and mortar, but not 100% of the goodwill. So it's an evolving area. Let's just talk about the accounts for a second, though, because very often when you're buying a practice, there's going to be a decent set of accounts, but you've got to think about the outgoing vendor. And often they'll have been running that business, and when they leave, they might want some sort of exit strategy where they leave over a period of time. So that means that you're going in potentially injecting a cost, but the vendor is going to be there with a cost as well. So you've got a double of the cost, and it all comes down to affordability and the calculation that the lenders do. You could have a scenario whereby, let me think, the vendor has been taking out big dividends out of the business, and that can actually be helpful for you because they've been taking these dividends out, been taking a load of income out, they're gone. That is then available to you. But if you need to take that level of income out as well, then that again depresses the profits back down. So what we would seek to do is to sit down and go through the accounts and look at them in some detail, work out what the costs are going to be going forward, because it is a business where it can be a little bit projection led, because if you're buying this practice, you're probably going to go in there with some great ideas. So that vendor is going to go, we're going to come in, and we might very often in these situations the outgoing vendor might be winding the business down a little bit, might only be doing 3 days a week. So they're gone, they were doing 3 days a week, you're going to come in and we're going to go to 5 days a week, we're going to open on Saturdays, we're going to take on some locums, we're going to do this, that and the other. So think about your projections, but be realistic with those projections. What's your increased income going to be? What's your increased costs going to be? But in this sector, unlike most others, a lot of lenders will look at your projections and say, yeah, that's reasonable, because they know the sector well and they're specialists. So get some good projections. Watch out for deferred consideration. Sometimes you might assume the vendor says, well, I'll take so much now, and then I'll take so much per month over the next period of time, or I'll take a chunk in a year's time. Deferred consideration a lot of lenders don't like, because it has to be paid, but somehow they've got to build that into their affordability calculations, because what they will always do is they'll work out the affordability of the business going forward to afford the loan that you're looking to take out. So if there's a chunk of £200,000 going out in a year's time, they'll say, okay, well, so if you make £200,000 profit this year, and 200 going out, then there's nothing to support our loan. Again, we have to work all these things through to see what the numbers come out at. But deferred consideration can be a problem. I guess the key message here is you're in a really good place because you can get to higher loan to values, but there needs to be a bit of preparation done to structure how the sale's going to work, to understand what the vendor wants to get out, to understand how the business is going to be enhanced when the vendor goes, because you might have a shocking set of accounts because he's been putting big chunks into his pension account. Well, we can add that back in. There's all sorts of things that we can add back in. So working through the accounts and then understanding what your plans are for the future, put that together, and then go to the market and say, right, okay, this is what it's going to look like going forward. This is the repayment strategy, and demonstrating the affordability. And just to give you an idea on the affordability, if you're thinking of taking out a commercial mortgage and the repayments are £2,000 a month, £3,000 a month, it's likely the lenders are going to want to see that the business can afford at least double that. That's broadly speaking, because what they're going to do is, whatever the interest rate is, they're going to assume it's higher because rates could go up, and then they're going to want another buffer of anywhere from 150 to 200% to say, right, we know we're covered. So it's not just can the business afford the loan repayments, it's can the business afford roughly double the loan payments. Anyway, I have rambled. I guess what's important is that you understand there's some great products out there. It's a really attractive sector. Preparation is key, and getting all of your ducks in a row first, so that your business proposal is as attractive to as many lenders who are supporting this sector as possible. Hope that was useful to you. Please do subscribe to our videos. There's lots of other videos which might be of no interest to you whatsoever, unless you do a bit of property investment on the side, or you're looking to buy a mortgage for your own home or whatever. So do subscribe to our videos on YouTube, Promise Money on YouTube, and for more information, do go to our website, which is promisemoney.co.uk. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.